Hello, everyone. My name is Shaneria, and this is Talk and Crime. Today, we have another reaction video. But before we get started, tip of the day: go ahead and climb that mountain, reach for the stars, and go get whatever your heart desires. You guys, if you limit yourself, you're holding yourself back. So, I advise you to go get what's yours. You guys, let's get started in today's video. Let's get started. I got pregnant by my brother.
I watched that 4-part story, so you don't have to. We're gonna call her Amanda. She just found out recently that her baby daddy is her blood brother. We're gonna call her man Devin. Amanda and him actually met on social media. She was actually already receiving messages for him for over the course of 3 years, but she was in a relationship, so she would open up the messages, she would save them, but she would never respond. So she had this one homegirl who was always like, having new dudes. So she asked her like, yo, where are you meeting all these guys? And she's like, girl, you gotta go through your Facebook inbox. So she's like, okay, bet, like, let's do that together. So they're at work one day.
Definitely a red flag. Definitely a red flag.
And they're going through her inbox, and she's like saying no to pretty much every guy that's popping up in her inbox. Then she sees this one dude and she's like, oh my god, he actually looks really good, I want to talk to him. And he had sent her a message. So her and her friend come up with this message, and she basically says like, oh, I see you have a picture of a friend of yours in your profile picture with you. My friend is interested in your friend, but I'm also interested in you. So she thought she was really smooth with that line. So he messages back immediately, and he's like, oh, my friend passed away a few months ago, but I've been trying to talk to you for a long time. And she's like, what are you talking about? I only see one message in our Facebook inbox. And he's like, oh, check the other app. I'm not sure which other app, but he's like, check your other app, I've been talking to you there. And so she goes and checks, and sure enough, he's been sending her messages for over 3 years. So they start connecting, and she was like, oh my god, he looks like me, we click, we're really vibing, I feel like this is all like soulmate material. Shortly after they started dating, her baby daddy actually ended up going to prison. This was his, I believe, third time he had already been to prison.
Second red flag. Did she say he looked like me? He looked like me? Okay.
Been to prison twice before, and she held him down for the next 2 years. When he got out, they decided to take a little vacation. It's actually a pinned video on her profile. You can go see their vacation they took right when he got out. And that very weekend, she actually ended up becoming pregnant with the child that they have now, a beautiful baby daughter. Amanda admits that they did plan for this baby. It was something that they wanted. It was not like a spur of the moment decision. When he ended up getting arrested 2 weeks after she had confirmed that she is indeed pregnant, it kind of threw a wrench in the plans.
Third red flag. Going to jail. Going to jail. Maybe that was a sign to like, girls, stay away. But no, that wasn't a sign, because it was too late then. She was already pregnant. But let's carry on.
So now she's stuck being a single parent, and people were kind of speculating that this might not be his baby. So she ends up doing like an early paternity test, right, while she's still pregnant with the baby, along with other tests. So when she does that test, it comes back that the baby is double kin to his father. And the doctor's like, are you and the father like related? And she's like, no, we're not. And he's like, are you sure? Because these results are showing that the baby is a double kin to his father. And so she's like, okay, cool. Mind you, Amanda was taking her appointments very seriously. She was going to every imaging, every screening, any testing, any extra ones that they were offering. She was going to all of them. Because her baby daddy was back in jail, she was doing all these appointments with her mother. So she's sitting there with her mother as the, doctor is giving her this news, and her mother is starting to act a little shady. And she's like, I'm gonna address this later. So they're leaving the appointment, and she looks at her mom and she's like, why were you acting weird in there? Like, what's going on? And her mother, is kind of like evading the question at first. And then her mother goes, I never thought this was ever going to come up. Like, I never imagined in a million years that this conversation would ever come up. But I have to tell you the truth. You're actually adopted. Her mother goes on to explain that what actually happened was, back in the day, her mom used to be a counselor, and she would go to prisons and she would evaluate prisoners. She would say whether or not they needed care, and then she would go ahead and administer the care as well. Come to find out, Amanda's biological mother was incarcerated at the time that her mother that raised her was working at the prison. And so she was actually pregnant with Amanda at the time. And then when it came time for the baby to be born, there's a rule in prisons where they don't let the mothers have any intimacy, any type of like bonding with the baby. They take the baby right away, and then they, give it either to a family member or they go to foster care. So Amanda was headed to foster care. Her mother had nobody on the outside. She was all on her own. Also, her biological mother did not know who her father was. So there really wasn't anybody for Amanda to be taken in by. And mind you, she already had 2 kids prior to this, right? And so at this point, the counselor, who is now Amanda's mother who raised her, steps in and she's like, I'll go ahead and adopt the baby. So there was no real paperwork. Her mother described it as like an angel being at the right place at the right time, and she ended up adopting Amanda. It was a closed adoption, and she raised her like her own. So come to find out, her biological mother is her boyfriend's biological mother, and they are in fact blood related. They found out all of this after she was pregnant, after they've been together for years, and so they basically looked at each other, and after explaining to him, as awkwardly as you can imagine it being over the jail phone, what was actually going on, and they kind of like processed everything, they decided like, well, we done already done the worst. We done had a child, we done been together. In her words, she said, we decided we're just going to shove it in the back of our brain and we were going to move on with our lives. And so here they are now. She shares a picture of her baby daughter, her family. She's like, my baby daughter was born healthy. She didn't have any, developmental issues, just a perfectly healthy baby, perfectly happy. This story was really interesting. You guys tagged me in this a bunch. I wanted to make sure I got it out to you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. I'm probably not going to post a video tomorrow, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Happy holidays. I hope you guys have a beautiful time with your loved ones. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.
Geesh, that is crazy. I can't imagine what she was feeling finding out that this was her brother, but also finding out that she was adopted. This is crazy. This is why a lot of people are saying, like, if you can't afford to take care of the child, if you concerned about raising that child on your own, all kinds of reasons, go ahead and get an abortion, or, like, but I understand her mother probably didn't believe in abortions, so she allowed the young lady adopted mother to adopt her. But never in a million years would that adopted mother think this will happen to her adoptive daughter. Well, you might as well say, I'm going to say her daughter, because she raised her, she took her in from day one. She's her mother. So never in a million years would her mother think to be like, let me tell her she was adopted because I know she have siblings out there. Like, at some point you have to. I understand she just didn't want her to think or see her in a different way or know how she would respond knowing she was adopted. But in these cases that's coming up, it seems like the adoptive parents are starting to have to, bring awareness to that adoptive child once they start hitting puberty and start wanting to, like the other sex or whatnot, because you never know what could happen. So, unfortunately, this happened to her. It wasn't her fault. She didn't even know she was adopted, let alone like that was her brother from another mother. None of that. Now, I will have the actual young lady that's telling the story, the actual person's story it is, TikTok in the description in case you want to hear each, each chapter or whatever. But I will also have this young lady, this TikTok in the description also. I will put both because I like putting these people, TikToks and stuff in the description. Why not? It's a lot of them that have more stories to share. But this is crazy. It's crazy. Like, don't even know you adopted, but also don't even know that you are now pregnant by your brother from your biological mother. Y'all are blood siblings. Like, ooh, I'm just gonna pray. I mean, it seems like they were peace with it, but baby, that daughter that they are raising will have questions in the future, and I hope they don't keep this a secret from her because she's going to need to know all the details. Because yeah, this is kind of why adopted kids may need to be told. Like, I have seen it good and bad. I have seen adopted kids being told and turn to get adopted parents, be cruel to them, sometimes harm. But I also have seen the other side where it turns out just fine. They still love them the same. They appreciate them being honest and so forth. So you guys drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to join the family by subscribing. And remember what I told you in the beginning. Go get your dreams. Stop limiting yourself. You guys, I hope you have a blessed day. Peace.